offering.
And you ready? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Insensitivity Training. I'm Cort McCown.
I'm Joe Bartnick.
Here we are, buddy. Phoenix.
Yeah, man. How about this? There's more people in this room than actually listen to the podcast.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
This is great.
This is fantastic.
We
This is our largest audience ever.
Exactly. Yeah, we're here. Hey, even Phoenix. I used to live here for like 9 months.
Why?
Tell us about that.
Fuck, would you live in this hot
I
box?
put my this is where I put my name on the wall for drinking 340 beers of the world in 2 months and 10 days.
Jesus. How many did you drink on the flight coming out here, though?
On the flight, none. I had like 10 Guinnesses and like 10 shots of Crown at Patty's.
Yeah, but hey, Matt Fulchiron here. Hey, you tell him.
We were
going
to bring you in as a guest.
But Jesus Christ,
oh my
the
God.
full charge.
Don't you have your own podcast?
What's my name, guys?
Matt Fulchiron.
The Full Charge. I can't wait.
For a guy that was booked 10 minutes ago, you have a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
For a guy that wouldn't have known about this podcast if it was at the pool.
We're warming up for my podcast tomorrow at noon.
Uh-oh. I will be back on the plane. You know you have a crazy life when you land at JFK and you're already getting notices to check in for the flight for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I land like ding, 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 check in for your flight.
There you go.
I finally use the phone to check in and not have to get the piece of paper.
I've done that before.
Yeah,
Welcome.
It's scary because I'm always afraid to let like the TSA ladies like from the DPTs like, whoa, I don't know what's going on. Oh, can't figure it out.
Hey, well, anyway, we
also have Paul Virzi.
We
here.
have the great Paul
thank
Virzi.
you.
Hey, Mr. Virzi, good to see you, buddy.
I wasn't going to just jump in, but I felt you. Like, didn't it feel like they were waiting a little bit? Like I was.
No, but I just felt like I'm a listener and I wanted to tell them what I wanted to hear.
Oh, that's you.
Like Joe's got this story about how he was up all night last night.
Yeah, well, my usual New York travels, I drink until I have to get into the. I usually take a subway, but I was too drunk to like want to deal with the subway.
Yeah.
So I got a lift.
I would have loved to see your face at JFK hammered last night because I know you didn't sleep.
Yeah, I never sleep. But the cool thing was I took 3 Tylenol PMs, so I just woke up in Phoenix. It was like time traveling.
You know what I was thinking about?
How did you feel when you walked off the plane, though?
Oh, terrible! I had to go sit down in the airport just to like sit down and like stretch out and relax.
Were you like looking around, going, "Do I have my luggage? Do I not have my luggage?"
I literally for a second thought I was in Vegas. But every time I'm in Phoenix, I think I'm somewhere else. The one time I was in Phoenix, I got so drunk at opening for Lisa Lampanelli. Matt was there. Matt Coleman, who's in charge of the ship. So when it hits,
there he is.
With the tight, I didn't have my glasses on. I can't
Respect.
see. How you doing, Matt? Yeah,
He's right there.
So it was so funny because I'll never forget this because it was we did Long Beach, great show, came here, and then we did some place right around here, some big theater, and people would stand up live. We're like, hey, come do a set. I'm like, yeah, sure. I drink my bottle of Crown I usually drink, and I got and I started drinking some to stand up live, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I got to get out of here, and I just left. Next thing I know, I woke up on the roof of my hotel.
That's normal, though.
The crazy thing, it is, but I didn't. The thing was I guess I found out later the elevator was out, so somehow I walked up 6 flights of stairs.
Oh, I would have liked to have seen that.
But when I woke up, the funny thing was, if you know Phoenix, anyone here knows Phoenix, they kind of have 2 skylines. So when I woke up, I didn't know what fucking city I was in because I didn't recognize any of the skylines. I'm like, oh, I thought I was still in Long Beach. I'm like, oh my God, I slept through the whole show. I'm fucked. I go downstairs and I lay in my bed. It's only like 135 degrees outside. So I had the worst leg cramp and I laid in bed and stretched my leg. I'm like, ah!
If you take me, Paul, and Cort out of this,
I had the worst.
This is like an AA meeting. And Joe's speaking right now.
I had the worst. No, this is like an everyday occurrence. So then fans gave me weed, so I still had some weed left. So I went outside, smoked this big joint, and I had one left. And I gave it to the lady at the front desk. I go, do you smoke? She goes, yeah. And I gave it to her. And then she came back with 2 huge things to watch. She goes, you look like you need these. And you can ask Kevin Shea. I was so hungover that next day, he took me to the Dodger game. He goes, I've never seen you not drink before. I'm like, dude, I got lit up in Phoenix. Phoenix is a great drinking town. I should be part of like the sponsorship here, or the
well, you are.
The welcome wagon.
You're drinking. You're drinking.
Good town.
That's good.
It's a good town to be dehydrated in. I know that much.
Yeah, I'm sorry not to. Well, you guys. Well, what's funny is I tell the story about Oh, I give some. These are all my favorite drinking buddies, except
let's-
Cort, because he's get cleaned up.
Yeah, but Court's got the best stories of them all. So
Oh, you
let's
don't
go.
drink, Cort?
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't drink?
No, not for.
He's retired.
I retired. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You
I
hung it-
retired.
you hung it up.
I didn't quit.
champ.
I retired.
He's a champ.
I am Barry Sanders when it comes to booze and drugs. I rush for the most yards in the fewest amount of years in anybody in history.
All-purpose yards.
All-purpose yards.
How many years you been clean now?
16.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
Lots
well,
of
I'm
people-
old.
lots
I'm
of people-
74, so
Well,
you know.
you look great.
I do. I feel good. I'm 74, but it's
Best
like,
looking man in podcasting.
there we go.
Joe, I got to tell you something. I was on I had a miserable plane experience today, but I thought about when me and you were in first class. And that
Go ahead, you
story,
can tell the
do
story.
you remember that story? You don't remember the story? I'm new?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell it. We're in the podcast.
Yeah, so we got first class, and I love to get the perks of first class.
Mr. Anemones.
Yeah, I love amenities.
Amenities.
Why did you correct him? I always let that slide because it makes him feel better.
Because
Why
I was
you
just
gotta
like,
do
amenities?
Yeah.
Isn't that where fucking fish
This
live?
ain't the Virzi effect. Come on. Jesus Christ.
So we fly into what city were we in when we Joe Gonzalez was with us? Where did we fly in? Anyway, we flew in. Was it Atlanta?
We were
Atlanta.
leaving the Duke
No, it was
game.
Atlanta. It was Atlanta. Yeah, because we watched Duke it was in North Carolina. So we fly into Atlanta first class. I have 2 cocktails before they taxi, like at the beginning. So I'm loving this shit. So I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen next. So unbeknownst to me, Joe is sitting next to me in first class on the way out. So we're like, this is fucking great. I'm sitting next to my buddy. We're going to have some cocktails before we even taxi out. I'm really excited. I really am. So all of a sudden, like, this tall guy who was the flight attendant, he's like looking around. He doesn't look right. And he's like looking.
He looks like a terrorist person.
Yeah, and he's like,
Wow.
no,
Yeah.
but not with the beard and stuff. He just looked like he was up to something.
He just had something on his head.
Something was wrong, and he was like looking around
He
at
had
people.
a
and he
fuse
kept,
on his shoe.
yeah, he just kept looking around, and I'm just going like,
Dark-skinned guy.
Well, where's our fucking drink? I'm like, where's our first drink? You know, I'm like, where
Virzi
about-
was getting a little
I was
a
like-
little hot under the collar that we didn't have 4 drinks in us before.
Little white
Zero
privilege,
upper class.
little white
I-
privilege
I-
going on.
Yeah, I've definitely become where, like, when I
White
go into
privilege,
a restaurant, I
yeah.
want fucking water within.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
not
I
like I'm
understand.
not. Yeah, just you know what I mean. There's a certain thing.
Hey.
Hey, someone else paid for first class. He thought we should get our drinks quick.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Why not?
Joe Gonzalez did not waste his money to fly in first class.
Yeah.
So I start going to Joe. I'm like, we didn't get a drink, and then all of a sudden I'm like, they're starting to close the fucking door here. So we go up to the guy, and the guy's like, man, I think I may be able to sneak you one now, but I don't know. You may have to wait. So now, not only do I not get 2 drinks, I don't get 1 drink. They close the door. He's like, you're gonna have to wait.
Some big old black woman's like, don't give him nothing. I could see she was pissed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like the head waitress. I call them waitresses. What a flight attendant. They're waitresses.
They're waitresses.
Yeah.
Stewardesses.
They're janitorial wait staff.
Yeah,
Because they
so-
clean up your shit.
So so
hopefully
now I'm
not.
pissed, and I'm chirping in Joe's ear. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck am I sitting in first class for if I can't have fucking a drink before I get out of here? You know, we got only a 2-hour flight. So now I'm gonna look like an alcoholic trying to like get in as many as I can from Atlanta to New York, which is an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm pissed off, and the guy comes over, and he just goes, Joe. He goes, I go, yeah, can I get a drink? I goes, yeah. I go, I'll get a screwdriver. I'll get a vodka orange. And Joe goes, yeah, can I get a 7 and 7? And he just stares at Joe, and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm new. I don't know. And Joe just goes, Joe puts his hands out. He goes, all right, can I get a beer? You know what? I'll just get what he's having. So it's not confusing, right? So the guy goes in. He comes out. He gives us these drinks after another 5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
we're not. It's awful.
It was a tough recipe.
Yeah. So during takeoff, during takeoff, we got the drink after takeoff. During takeoff, he starts going up, and he didn't secure the trays, and you know the way they have to fucking turn thing.
Yeah.
So as we're like angled up, this fucking just silver tray just comes pinging down, and not missing a beat. Bartnick just goes, he's new. So, dude, I'm fucking crying. I am crying, laughing, right? And Joe, and we finally got our drinks, and the guy was really fucking, he sucked. We got 1 drink, and
I got like 9 more after that.
Yeah,
Dude, I used to fly. I remember this was years and years and years ago, but before 9/11, before all this stuff. But America West used to have this thing where you didn't have to pay for your ticket till you got on the plane. So you made the reservation.
Holy Greyhound.
Like a train, huh?
You'd write a check like for your I remember I was in college and I was going from Oklahoma to California. And I got on the plane. I wrote a hot check. It was $108. I'll never forget this. Wrote a $108 hot check on America West. It was free drinks. So once you got on the plane, there was free booze.
For those that don't know, hot check is a check that's no good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. I was actually wondering what
I
the
like
fuck.
that term. I like that term.
I didn't know what a hot check was.
Wrote a check for $108. No, there's not. There's probably had $14 in my checking account, but I got an 8-ball in my pocket. And I get on the plane, and I just start. I had money for cocaine,
anything before
but
1990.
not for rent. This was the good old days. And so I get on the plane, and
You don't need rent. You can just stay up.
Yeah, I just stay up. So it starts out with like having a couple drinks and then going to the bathroom and doing a couple of bumps, And then
I hate doing drugs in those little bathrooms.
I know, but after a while, you know how you
Speak
start
for
to
yourself,
your personality starts feeling bigger and bigger and bigger. Cut to like 2 hours later, I'm standing in the front of the plane with a cocktail, just fucking drinking with fucking everybody, standing up there fucking screaming and yelling. Stayed up till, I mean, I was, by the time I hit the fucking tarmac in LAX, I was shit-faced. I mean, beyond shit-faced. Big, huge white Coke stains in my fucking nose. I get out to plane, my buddy picks me up, he's like, dude, you need to do something about that. And I was like, what?
I will in 10 years.
He goes, looks like you just blew up in baby powder. I had these huge fucking white things. Stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning. It was one of the greatest
So
nights
what happened
ever.
with this check, man? Did you get enough money in
Fuck
the bank?
them. No, I stayed in California.
And that's
I
why
never
they're
went home.
bankrupt, dude.
I know. America West does not exist anymore.
Wait a minute. How the fuck do you get on an airplane with an 8-ball? Like how?
It was before
before
9/11.
9/11. You could do
Yeah. That's why the terrorists
Bring a
won.
chimpanzee on.
Dude, I could get on a plane now with a fucking 8-ball.
All right.
All right.
It's like the
I
beginning of a
could.
movie.
Yeah.
I could. There's nothing. I mean, it's so easy. You just put it in. Like I know guys that still fly with joints. They just put them in airtight containers.
That's a joint.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
How
It's
big's an 8-ball?
3.5 grams. About this big.
Is it?
It's about 6.5,
Like
7
Bartnick's bit.
7
Everybody
hours
knows
worth
that
of fun.
perfectly math-wise.
It's the only math I do know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, any math tutors out there? Oh my
Yeah.
God, my daughter. She's getting sent back to easier math. It's like, why didn't they do that 5 fucking years ago? All the money I spent in tutors.
Wow, this went a whole nother
Well,
direction just now.
Yeah.
No, he's right though, man. It's
No,
ridiculous.
Fuck that school, man.
Schools. I mean, I hated school when I went to school, but now it's even worse when your kids got to get. And you hate to tell them it's all bullshit. It's like you
never
didn't
went
learn
to
anything.
school.
How
They
great
don't
would it
teach
be?
you anything that you can use,
No, the other thing I learned in college was how to open a beer with a lighter.
which you used tonight, by the way.
No, well, Bud Lights or Twisted
How
are
great would
sponsored.
it be-
This podcast is sponsored by Bud Light.
How great would it be watching hungover Bartnick doing his daughter's math just after like a fucking 2-day bender in New York, just coming back?
You can just say Bartnick. You don't have to say hungover Bartnick.
What's funny is I have a great Fulchiron story.
Oh, really? I have none. Go ahead.
Oh no! Well, I liked how you said that when you looked at your taxes this year. There's like.
I was gonna
Oh, go ahead. Tell the story. I'll tell another one. Then.
I was doing my taxes this year, and I found one receipt, and it was like $150 or something at this bar. I'm like, I've never drank $150 worth of booze. And then I was like, oh, that was Easter Sunday. That was the night I went out with Bartnick.
Yeah.
And I didn't even pay. Like, that was only one round or something. Like, you paid for most of it.
Yeah, hey, everyone's on scholarship when Joey B's in
It
town.
was fun. It was a fun night.
No, it was a great time. Well, the funny thing, in San Francisco, I was walking out. This time I was really hungover. You know you're hungover when the guy at the head shop that sells like Grateful Dead T-shirts and incense goes, "Oh man, you look terrible."
Yeah, that's not good.
I was going in there to buy sunglasses.
So,
Oh shit! I remember you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was walking into this bar just to get like one drink before I went to get a cheesesteak in North Beach. And this kid, Grant Cotter, was in there. And he goes, where's Joe? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, he was walking right behind you when you walked in. And I was like, what the fuck, man? So I texted Joe, and as soon as it was sent, I go, oh, fuck. I'm about to get really drunk during the day. And it wasn't even during the day. It was like a half an hour that wrecked the rest of the day.
No,
Not for you.
Oh, no, yeah.
For me.
It was before. It was like 11 a.m. And I go, I'll come in, but I have to write my pro hockey news article. So I'm like, I'll come in for like one drink, then I'm going to leave.
But
So-
Joe's the mayor. Everybody starts buying us drinks and stuff.
And he's so responsible with his hockey shit. He could be just fucking, blizzard drinking. He's like, oh, but I gotta go back to the hotel room and write this fucking
I gotta take
thing.
care of the
I gotta
hockey,
take care of
yeah.
my hockey thing. This guy will be half dead and do his fucking shit. He's a professional.
But you live in New York.
I
So
do.
I think the worst city to be hungover in is New York.
Why is that?
Because of the heat, the subways.
Yeah, but there's,
when I lived in New York. When I lived in New York one time, we went out to Jones Beach for a concert.
Yeah.
And I was up till like 5, 6 in the morning, and I used to work at this restaurant in Midtown. So this was like August. So I had to get up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
lived in Soho. I had to get up. I walked down into the subway, and I was carrying my restaurant shirt like on a hanger that had like I got it back from the cleaners.
Yeah.
And I walk into the subway on the C train down at like Spring Street.
Yeah.
And I walk in, it's so hot, it's so disgusting, and I've slept like maybe an hour, and I was trying not to throw up, and I just finally get on the train, and when you get on the train, the cool air,
Yeah.
like the door shut,
That's
the cool
the
air.
best.
I'm on a packed train on Sunday morning. It's packed, and all of a sudden, I just turn white as a ghost.
You tell
and
me you threw up?
And people just looked at me, and I just go, and I just started throwing up on the train, and everyone just scattered, man. Everyone just scattered, and I was like, yeah, I guess that's one way to get a seat on a train, man.
So why'd you retire, Cort?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Why retire?
Here's why New York is the greatest city for being hungover in. Because A, you can walk everywhere. You can just walk forever home.
Walk it off.
And B is the egg, bacon, cheese on a hard roll, $3.
Yeah.
Not to
Can't
mention,
beat that in any
not to
city.
mention, hair of the dog is lying around on every block.
Oh yeah, $3 Yinglings.
Let's go right now. Let's get back on the plane.
Yingling.
Yinglings.
Yeah.
That sounds like what I avoid
I'm
on
sorry,
the golf
no.
course.
No, Yinglings are a East Coast beer. That's
Yingling's
delicious.
good.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Although I'm drinking Bud Light right now, a great beer. Thanks
Bud
for
Light's the
sponsoring.
best.
It really is the best. There's nothing like a cold Bud Light.
Is Bud Light really sponsored? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just thought Joe loved Bud
As I'm
Light.
about to
I
tell
do
him,
love
okay.
Bud Light. I drink. I put all those. I drink 340 beers in Arizona, and when you drink that many beers, a shitty one.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
9 months.
Tito's and soda.
No, it was 3. It was 2 months and 10 days. It was in Scottsdale, Arizona. I used to work doubles and then go drink, and my girlfriend at the time would just drive me home.
Yeah, are you going to do the calculator on that?
Wait, how many beers did you
71
drink?
days.
How many beers did you drink?
340.
340 divided by.
You drank
71, right?
You drank
Yes.
That's about 5 beers. That's about 5 beers.
Oh,
a
some
day.
days I
That's
do.
not bad.
Some days I do like 10. Some days I do but they're all like these huge beers from like Germany or Ireland, whatever. What's funny is I'd make it like risk. Like today I'm taking West Germany and drink like 10 of their 10 beers. But there is
You're
some,
like the Hitler of drinking.
oh, I am.
There's all these arrows on the map pointing to beer.
Yeah, Churchill stopped me.
Fuck, Russia.
Yeah.
Too tough.
We lost the crowd.
What happened?
Literally, everyone just walked out.
We had 5 people here.
We just
still
lost
got
our
2.
It's easy to walk the whole room.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we've been hungover.
They're like, yeah, but we know Bartnick's drunken stories.
It's like a press conference that no one showed up to.
This is like Joe stepping down because of alcohol abuse.
I'm taking my talents to Yonkers.
Joe stepping down as manager of the Diamondbacks, just too
Oh
much
my
drinking.
God.
Oh, that'd be great.
We did our best today, but the other team just had a better podcast.
No, you know what the
and
funny
next week
thing
we're
is?
gonna try
The
again.
funny thing is, if Joe was at a press conference for having to step down for too much drinking, it would be the most unapologetic. He'd be like, yeah, of course I drank. What the fuck you think? I'm on the road. Oh, fuck you people.
Yeah.
Fuck you assholes with your little fucking recorders. Fuck him. Fuck him. Because I'm a man. Because I'm a man. That's what I'm
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, 'cause I don't drink white wine, you queer. Because I like a little whiskey.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah,
There-
Jack fucking Daniels. Look him up,
So,
asshole.
Mr. Bartnick, what do you feel about the fans that you disappointed who loved your managerial skills but don't condone your alcohol abuse?
Oh, you're asking me a question?
He's still trying to figure out who he just offended.
Going down the list
Yeah,
in his head.
I
did say queer. I know that much.
I pulled the Cam Newton. I think that's a funny question coming from abroad. I like how they gave him shit for that, though. It's like, it is funny. Some chicks talking about past offense. It's like, it is a stupid fucking question. Oh, don't back down now, Fulchiron. This is insensitivity training.
You can't.
I didn't bring you up here to go, oh, I don't know.
No. You're not allowed to say anything anymore, or else you get in trouble.
No.
That's why we
apologize.
That's why
It's
we do
over.
this show, because we say it, no one listens, and we have a good time.
And if you have trouble with it, all you do is just kind of laugh uncomfortably and go, "Oh, Joe."
But how about this? Turn the table.
Only like once a week does Cort go, I'll edit that one out.
I actually, in all the years we've done the podcast, I have only edited it one time, and that was more because we just had a bad start and we were bored. And other than that, I never edit the podcast.
I got a question.
No, we edited twice. We edited it twice, and then once, and then last week, because we started talking about the Harvey Weinstein thing. And I'm like, this isn't going anywhere good. Let's just
But I got a question.
I'm trying to get a job at the NHL Network. Like, this is not a good look.
Don't take Joe down that road.
No, exactly.
What? The guy likes plants. What the fuck?
And when Joe does get that job, just take this shit down.
Yeah. Any big job, just any podcast.
Like, I'll die before that anyway. There'll be a funeral.
But if I was a a reporter for something that women did. Like if I was like reporting like women's figure skating, and I was like, hey,
great double axel.
Cindy, that double axel when you did it, and she just was like, it's kind of funny, like a New York guy like you or like a guy like you talking about that. I would laugh and be like, I know, they just this is what they're paying me to do.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have. I get the I get that it was a little bit like, but he didn't say anything like chick or broad or like.
But the funny thing is now you see it like there's still. I mean, I've heard a national like NFL broadcast, like a Sunday game, a national broadcast game or a college football game where they've had a woman in the booth.
One woman sounds like she smokes like 10 Pall Malls a week.
I mean,
4 than 7. Like she's she's eating pussy before she gets on the mic.
I get that they have them doing sideline reporting, and I get that. But I mean,
because you can see their cleavage.
Wait a minute. The truth of the matter is,
make you have.
Well, she's a rug muncher.
A horse. Yeah.
It does. No, I don't know.
Oh.
You get to see.
It's always easier just to go. Yeah. I agree.
Cort's made $9 doing that.
But it's victim culture, right? Like everyone's, it's my chance to be offended, which is funny because the guy we elected president was vulgar as fuck.
I was talking to Morgan Murphy earlier tonight. We were talking about how
name dropper.
Yeah, we were talking about how I've worked in Hollywood since 1984, and it was just kind of common. For years and years and years. Now people are coming out of the woodwork, and they're, and it's like, look, I'm not saying that it's never happened.
If you weren't pretty, you wouldn't have all those jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but I can't tell you how many times back in the 80s when you were a young, good-looking man that men didn't approach you and be like, hey, if you did, if you took care of me like this, I could.
That
probably
happened to you. You got that.
Oh fuck yeah! How do you think I got Can't Buy Me Love? I sucked a lot of mean cock for that job. No, I'm kidding. No,
it's a great movie.
But I'm saying.
But that's what Hollywood's based on that though.
Yeah.
What do you think separated Lauren Bacall from Lauren whoever from down the street? She sucked somebody's dick. Like it's acting. It's not like a big. Oh my God, you can't do that.
Are you reading from her Wikipedia page?
Lauren Bacall still is pretty hot. But like Angie Dickinson would still be a secretary if it wasn't for like whatever the casting. It's like so stupid. Oh no, she went to acting school. No, she blew somebody. That's how she got in the movies.
Did you ever give someone like a massage for a movie? How far did you go?
I was like, the only time it ever really happened to me was I had an acting teacher who basically was like, hey, if you kind of would, kind of hang out, you wouldn't have to pay for acting classes.
Oh,
that's why I'm a shitty actor. I should
have
blown the
dude.
dude.
You hung out, but like didn't know what he meant.
Yeah.
We're just like, so what are we doing, man?
And he's like, well, you're going to be putting your lips around my cock any minute now for your free acting class. No, but I never
Cort's
did
out
that.
there cutting his grass like, I'd rather suck his dick. It's hot out here.
Exactly. Exactly.
35.
I don't want to hang out with the guy.
Yeah. But that was common. I mean, I knew of guys that got hit on by casting directors, by dude casting directors all the fucking time. And there was like certain casting directors you knew were those guys. And you're like, oh, that's fucking weird.
That shit happens everywhere. It happens in sports. It happens everywhere. It's just Hollywood and movies is more glorified, and because it's
it's just now
pop
coming
culture.
out now. But now it's coming out everywhere.
There's some great stories in the New York Post of executives, like what they're doing. It's hilarious.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What's funny, we don't face it in the comedy business. No one wants to fuck us.
Wait, what do you mean, Joe? What are they doing?
Oh, just like some big executive at somewhere like I.
What? There's gonna be a lot of bodies floating soon?
No, just like all the stories what he would do to these chicks in his office. It's hilarious.
Oh, you mean Harvey?
No, just like some banker, like on whatever. I'm gonna say Citibank. I don't think it was Citibank. It just popped in my head where the guy would like lock chicks in the in the rooms and all this crazy shit he's doing to them, like in an office. Like you remember hearing that like in comedy in the '80s, which we weren't a part of.
Right.
You'd hear those stories.
I remember hearing a story when I used to work on a Universal Studios backlot. We were doing a show back there, and they were telling us about the guy back in the day. They used to have what was called the Black Tower that overlooked the whole backlot, overlooked the whole studio lot.
It's like Bear Bryant's, Alabama.
And this guy was like one of the heads of like Universal. And he would sit there, and they would come in, and they would like bring him lunch, or they bring him stuff, and he would basically be sitting at this big desk, and he would just be getting blown like throughout the whole, like he would just have.
That movie.
Yeah.
Well, there's a famous story about Andy Rooney that every day at lunch on the movie sets, that midget Andy Rooney. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah,
Bert
speaking of-
Kreischer.
speaking of midgets.
Hey, Bert, I did Bikram yoga for years. I didn't make it competitive. I just did it to improve myself. I love Bert Kreischer.
See all that free beer back there, Bert?
Yeah, he's gonna live an extra 3 days. We're
He's
talking.
gonna die.
I love Bert.
Me too.
What are we talking about?
You're talking about Citibank. No,
Oh,
a
no.
guy getting blown.
Yeah.
Citibank was the least part of that story.
I got there, Paul.
Andy Rooney used to call chicks. He used to call his wife every lunch hour while a hooker blew him on the phone. For lunch, that's what he would do. He'd go make a phone call and call his wife, and he'd always have a hooker blowing him.
Wow.
Or an actress per se.
That's how marriages last long back then.
Hey,
Wait, that was the guy on Six. Was that the guy on?
No, the midget Andy Rooney. They know the guy. He was
You
like
mean
a famous.
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney.
Oh.
Andy Rooney's the guy from 60 Minutes. The
Oh,
old guy.
Joe, you just
The
almost
old guy
ruined-
at the end.
Just
Just
ruined
ruined
some
some
legends. Just ruined some legends, some journalists, some legendary journalists.
And the
dead.
president of Citibank.
Guys,
Yeah.
grandkids are listening to this. Like, what the fuck? He was a staple on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Hello?
notice when you
Did
get?
you ever notice how he's getting a blowjob
Dude,
when
and
I
I'm
was
thinking,
calling
who's
my wife?
blowing- And I'm looking.
Yeah, right at the end of 60
And I'm
Minutes.
thinking, who's blowing that fucking guy?
Yeah. I look at my desk and I see paper clips and rubber bands. You know
Yeah.
the difference between a paper
He's
clip and a
talking
rubber
about
band?
Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, rub my balls more, broad.
Joe, that's such a fuck. That's so hilarious. It wasn't De Niro beating something like no. It wasn't.
No, that was Steven DiGiorno.
The Giorno.
I was looking for a name. Thank you. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Fulchiron's killing it. Fulchiron's podcast is the best. I love, and Virzi's of course is awesome too. But we do, you do a funny thing. Now there's a whole channel devoted to this on XM.
What's that?
Yacht rock.
Oh, yeah.
What do I call it? I call it
You call it
rehab music, or
boat music, something hilarious. It's cruise rock, what you call it.
I call it cruise rock. Yeah, because it's all that 70s kind of where people who did drugs in the 60s then had
Cocaine, champagne,
bikinis
bikinis
Bakersfield.
are coming off.
But you do a name that tune.
Yeah, basically, there's maybe 3 episodes of that. But Forrest Shaw, you know him. Right?
Yeah,
He was
love
on-
Forrest
The great
Shaw.
Forrest Shaw.
So he's way into what they call yacht rock now, which is soft rock in my day. And
I could name every song.
that's
you
the
could
thing.
play.
You think you can, and it's kind of tough. I'll have to have you on, Cort.
I can for sure do it.
We'll see what we can do with that.
Those are Cort's heyday. You know, Cort's everything from the 70s.
Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah, he
Yeah.
played racquetball.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did you wear
Big-
wristbands?
Huh?
Did you wear wristbands while you played
Fuck
racquetball?
yeah! I still got a bunch of wristbands.
Did you
Yeah.
talk about stuff while you play racquetball, like in the movies, or do you just be silent when you do it?
Oh no, we talk.
that was a good way to progress a movie.
You would
back
talk
in the
while
day.
running and
talk.
sweating.
Yeah. You got to talk, but I also had a headband too. I had a headband.
Wow.
80s was headband.
Ruse.
Oh, late 70s, early 80s.
Who
By-
started the
So-
headband when stuff
Walter
was it?
Payton.
Was it McEnroe?
Bjorn Borg. Bjorn
Okay.
Borg was the first guy that like wore the headband.
McEnroe wore him too, didn't he?
Yeah, after he got the big fro, you know. But Borg was like the guy who wore the Fila headband and wristbands and like.
What is that, late 80s?
They had
I mean,
Fila.
late 70s?
Yeah, late
Late
70s,
70s.
early 80s. Yeah, he was amazing.
Bjorn
man.
Borg was just a pussy hound. God almighty.
God, that
Was he?
dude was.
Oh
like,
yeah, he was the best tennis player in the
crushed.
world, and he was like a good-looking man. I'm man enough to I know when the guy's good-looking.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I can admit
Swedish, just crushing ass, man.
that. Yeah.
Long golden locks.
How
Yeah, he was a
much
good-looking man.
pussy did McEnroe get? Or was he that upset for a reason?
He married Patti Smythe, right? The rocker, the punk rocker.
I don't know who that chick
Yeah,
is. I
Patty
always hear her
Smith,
name
yeah.
everywhere. It's like, who the fuck is
I
she?
couldn't-
No
Patti
one
Smith,
listens to her
Patti
music,
Smith had a
but-
huge hit with Tom Petty's song.
No, it was
Here Come-
Bruce Springsteen's song.
I know
Bruce,
Tom-
yeah, Bruce
I know
Springsteen's
Tom
song.
Petty.
Because the Night Belongs to Lovers.
Yeah.
That was a big one. But she's part
That's her
of that
big
CBGB.
song.
Yeah, but
She's
yeah.
way too famous
She's
to
part of
have
that
that a shitty song like
But
that.
she
to
was
even
a
But she's
punk
part
rock.
of that CBGB shit where they
Yeah.
always talk about how great it was. Blondie, the Ramones. She was in that mix. So she's part of like that history. But no one knows her music.
See,
that well.
everybody talks about those bands like they were the greatest bands, but in the 70s, nobody gave a shit.
They were a bunch of bands no one went to see.
Nobody gave a shit. They
That's
were,
why
they were-
that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like they don't have Iron Maiden in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They have all these fucking faggot bands that like from CBGB.
Elaborate.
Shit about.
Oh,
elaborate.
okay.
Like what?
So like
what-
David Bowie, or what are you saying?
Oh, you picked the one guy. I like David Bowie anyway. No, the underground. The
Judas
punk.
Priest?
No, the Priest is the Priest is overrated, man.
Okay.
They were great, and then they went on that. They were great, and then I think Halford's actually from Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's from England, but he lives out here now.
Okay, that's
for
what I
the
thought.
tax brackets. But no, like in the mid '80s, they went really like MTV, and they just lost their edge. And I saw them on Ozfest like 10 years ago, and I was gonna leave. They were terrible. I got free tickets, but I was gonna leave. It was terrible.
Did you stick around and see Ozzy?
Did you get
I
fucked
did.
up?
And I was so happy I did.
Were you drunk?
Oh yeah. Well, who goes to
Were you
Ozfest
awake?
sober?
Did you see?
Cort.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't go to Ozfest. I wouldn't do that. But I saw Ozzy when he was still playing with
Randy Rhodes.
yeah with
What? After a racquetball game, you
no,
went
no.
straight to
but
the
I
amphitheater?
saw why am I fucking blanking right now?
Please tell us, Cort. Use your phone if you have
Ozzy's
to.
band. It's Black Sabbath. Yeah, I saw when Van Halen opened for Black Sabbath.
Holy
So that was late
shit.
70s.
And you don't remember any of it.
I remember it most.
Here's
of
some Cort knowledge. Here's some Cort trivia. Cort saw Led Zeppelin live.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh fuck.
it. April 1977.
Well, he said he's 74.
Yeah. He's such a.
But I
He's
was
like Benjamin Button.
Dude, I was
but I
born
was
that
also
year.
at Garcia's 40th birthday at the Zoo Amphitheater in Oklahoma City.
Raul Garcia, who I went to high school with?
Jerry Garcia.
Oh, okay. From the Grateful Dead, okay.
Yeah, that was a good time because we had done we did some Snoopy acid when we were driving from Stillwater
Now,
to
what's
is
Oklahoma
that a
Snoopy
famous
acid?
brand of acid?
So Snoopy was blotter acid. So that was like this little blotter acid. And the Allman Brothers were the opening band. And so we all did blotter acid.
The only
driving
opening
down-
band that played for 9 hours, and
Yeah.
then the Dead.
Yeah, exactly. And so we drove down there and we took it like 45 minutes out thinking it would just be kicking in when we pulled in. So we got there, we're like 30 minutes into the show, we don't feel a thing.
Acid math never works out, does it?
Never works out. So we buy some barrel acid at the show. And right as we put it in our mouths, and as soon as it dissolves, everybody kind of looks at each other and they go, "Oh shit, we made a huge mistake." Exactly.
Well,
the
it's-
Snoopy kicked in, and it was a long fucking
It
night.
always works out. Like,
Yeah, I
should
can't
we
do that
eat
shit.
some more? I don't know, maybe. And then that's the last thing anyone says for 9 hours.
Man. Yeah,
Right.
it was bad. It was good, but it was bad.
I never done this acid. So what's the blotter?
You've never done acid?
Blotters,
No.
blotters
No,
on a
I tried it once and I
Paul told me it was no good.
blotters on a
freaked me the fuck
sheet,
out.
like a little square piece of paper, and then there's the other kind that's like a pill, more like a
Right.
pill.
Yeah, I had like one time we were all hanging out at this house and this guy called it white pearl, he said, and it was a little square piece of paper.
Yeah.
I remember just putting it there I guess it was weak. It kept me up all night laughing. Like I was up all night
Oh, yeah.
laughing, but I
So you
didn't.
had a terrible
But I was
time?
afraid. But I was afraid of like all the things people said because we had friends that were like, one kid just fucking had a meltdown. He saw like a fucking leprechaun on a branch and shit, and like I didn't want to see that shit. Like
That's
that,
all. That's all such bullshit.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
Nobody.
Jennifer Aniston in a Leprechaun movie?
Yeah,
Is that
every-
what
That's
happened?
probably
That's
the,
worse.
No, that's like, acid, man. You need. I should just do that. I should really do that for a living. I should be like a professional, like take people on their own trips.
Right.
You
Because-
could be. You
Play
could be
some
like a
cruise
tour
rock.
guide.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Julie on the Love Boat. No, because you really, yeah, because
what?
you need when you're tripping, you need stimulus. You need things to do. You either need to be outside.
You need to
or
plan a nice
or
day.
you need to be at a concert or at the beach. It's the times when you're in someone's living room and like, hey, let's dose. Those are the times when it gets a little hairy.
I
for
don't
people.
really
'Cause
know
you-
this guy.
because you don't have enough. Your mind has nowhere to go but inside.
Yeah, we did that one time at a guy's house in college, and we all freaked out so bad we wouldn't use the door. We thought the door was like went to hell, so everyone would climb in and out of the window. So if you had to go outside, we'd climb
Yeah.
out the window. And we went to get beer, like we ran out of beer, and you can't run out of booze. So
Right.
me and my roommate climbed out the window, and we got outside, and we were like freaking out because we were outside, and we thought, and we almost got arrested we went to this place called a Buy and Buy, which is like a 7-Eleven.
Give
And-
me a keg.
Yeah, we
of
were
beer.
laughing so fucking hard that we like put the beer on the thing, and then we kept having trouble with the money, and we just kept going, just give it all back to us, give it all to us. And he thought we meant give him all the money, like we were robbing the place. And we started laughing, and we couldn't stop. So we had to fucking run out of the fucking Buy and Buy. We left our money there. Left
you get the
beer?
beer?
No, we left the beer there.
Dude, we
That is a bad trip.
That was a bad trip.
I tripped somebody laced weed. Me and my buddies all skipped high school, and we took a trip in his Riviera down to New York City from upstate, about an hour north. And we think we're so cool. We're listening to fucking Wu-Tang Clan, and we picked up a fucking hitchhiker.
Oh,
And-
Jesus.
And the hitchhiker gave us in payment a bag of weed. And I was like, dude, I don't know if we should do it. And we did it. We smoked it that night. And all I remember was smoking this weed and getting to a point that I really never got. And I was staring at the pattern of the floor. And then I looked up at my buddy's face, and he goes, you all right? And I go, no. And I just went back to the pattern of the floor. And then I looked up at his face, and the pattern of the floor was on his face. And I go, dude, and I had a full-fledged fucking meltdown. I
PCP?
started, I don't know what it was. My heart was jacked up. I had to lay on the couch, and dude, he had to like fucking talk me through it because weed doesn't do that. Like, I don't know if it was PCP. No, I think PCP gives you energy, doesn't it? Like, this fucked me up.
Yeah,
I
it
was,
turns you into
it
the
turns you into like
Incredible
a Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just like the pattern, and I didn't know if I was staring at the pattern of the floor for 5 minutes or for fucking 3 hours. And he was just like, dude, you're gonna be all right. And like, he was like the voice of reason, but I was fucked up.
Time continuum is one of the things that acid screws around with. Because I think I've told this story on the podcast, but
You sound like a scientist. Professor Bartnick.
No, well, I was after a Dead show in Buffalo one time. It's funny because we walked in and this guy put a puddle in my hand and I just tripped my balls off. And then my buddy goes, "I'm going to the bathroom." I go, "Okay." And he knew when we waved to me like goodbye. He knew I'm coming back in a police car.
It's like a Tarantino movie. We know how it's gonna end.
So I had no idea. So then he left, whatever. And I was like, "Oh, whatever." So BB's hometown actually, Buffalo, Rich Stadium. So we camped somewhere nearby because it's like the stadium in Buffalo is like out in like a park. It's not like in a city. So I didn't know where I was at. So I'm walking around. I met some chicks, hung out, and I hung with them till like 5 in the morning. And then like they're like, "Okay, well we're like you're not staying with us anymore. Like you gotta leave." So I'm like, "Okay." So I'm walking around. I'm like, I have no idea. So I did the smart thing. I got rid of all my drugs because I knew I'm gonna get picked up.
Right.
So then they come over and the guy's like, I goes, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, I don't know." He's like, "Where you at? Where you staying?" I go, I literally told the cop, and this is when I was like 265, like all muscle, really long. This one was Indian Joe for real. And I go, "Dude," I go, just lock me up. Like, no.
Skip this part of
Yeah,
it.
I was just like,
Just lock me up.
yeah, no. Well, I was just like,
You
"Yeah."
gonna lock me up or not?
Yeah, I was like, "Dude," I go, "I don't know where." I go, "You're my only hope to find my way out of here." I go, "You can arrest me, whatever you want to do. Like, I'm never gonna find my car."
Was he like,
I'm
"Fuck
gonna
you,
walk,
man.
No, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
walk
arresting
around
you."
forever. He goes, "Nah." He goes, "You come with me, and then I know where it's at." And I go, "I know where you're at." I go, "Whatever." I go, "You're my only hope, man." So then I I literally sat in the back with his dog. His dog was cool. He was a cut. So then we go to
Is this in Hazard County?
Yeah. So then we get there, and then like, oh, whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, whatever. I was just tripping so hard. I'm like, I don't fucking, what can I do? So then they're like, they made me wait forever where I thought I was either get arrested or, you know how you go through, you go, and I'm just like, what's going on? Maybe I really fucked up. Maybe I'm going to be here for like a year, just keeping me held without any phone call or nothing.
You're gonna be here for a year.
Yeah. So
What are you in Afghanistan?
So then they go, no, worse, South Buffalo. them broads are tough. So I go. So anyway, so they go, okay, so we're coming here. He said we'll give you a couple tests. So they gave me a couple tests. They did my eyes, a couple things, and by then I was really just kind of like fed up. Then I was like anger me. So I'm like, okay. They go, well, shut your eyes for 20 seconds and tell us when it's 20 seconds, and then open them. So I'm there, and I'm like, fuck these pigs. Like, I've been sitting here, like, I'll sober up by the time it's done. My eyes are going to be shut for, I thought my eyes were shut for like 3 hours. I open them up, and the guy goes, 7 seconds.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
You thought it was really long?
Oh, I thought it was forever. Like, I thought, oh, they must have left me here. I don't care. I'm just chilling out. Like, I was just like so, and then he goes, 7 seconds.
Does the insensitive training audience know about the legend of this man's drinking?
Oh yeah.
They know, right?
Oh,
If they didn't, they know from the first 15 minutes of this podcast.
we speak well of Joe's drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
And you do something. Joe does something that's really rare when somebody drinks the way he drinks. Because I performed. Joe
Stay married?
Yeah, you're probably only been married for 7 seconds. And you don't fucking know.
It feels like
it feels like. Dude, in Sacramento, this man drank in front of my face. In front of my face, he drank 8 glasses, 16-ounce glasses of Crown Royal and Ice, and he just kept going, dude, are we staying? Like he was doing one of those things, because I was talking to the booker there, potentially to shoot my album there in 2015. And I'm just talking to the guy about the venue, and Joe's going, are we going to, when people do that, I'll get it. And he just, and I'm just like, all right, that looks like a glass of fucking iced tea. Like a glass, and then he
does. I mean, when he was with the Queen, he used to do a bottle of Crown a night.
Hold on, what's the Queen? What are you talking about?
Lampanelli.
Oh, right.
Yeah, when he was with Lampanelli, it's known that he would do, he had his Crown every night, right?
And yeah, it was funny because Lisa's rider was like, rider was amazing. And her room looked, before she, on her health kick, her room looked like a Sizzler.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So was there a salad bar?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like a huge spread,
Right.
But Matt knows. But
ice cream? Was there ice cream?
We walked Matt. And then my room was literally like a big bottle of Crown and a little cooler with like 2 bottled waters and 2 Cokes. Hello.
Oh, there's Joel.
Spent some time with Joel on Monday night up in Hollywood.
Name dropper.
I'll let him tell you about that shit.
Uh-oh.
It's not good for the podcast, but sorry.
No, that's okay. We were talking. We were talking about my
somebody said today if Bartnick and Ric Flair ever were able to drink together, the universe there would just be
would change. Yeah.
Oh,
it'd be like a black hole.
Well, listen to this. Well, I think we can tell the story without naming names. We can tell the story. So literally, a friend of mine, Bill is friends with Ric Flair. I'm not giving state secrets away. Bill's friends with Ric Flair. So Bill is in Atlanta. He's going to go to Ric Flair's party for the 30 for 30. He got a new phone, so he lost Flair's number. So a radio friend of mine in Pittsburgh, Mark Madden, he's friends with Flair. So he goes, hey, call Madden and get Flair's number. And I'm thinking, Mad's not going to give me Flair's number. That's like giving me the
keys to the kingdom.
Like the nuclear codes.
Yeah. Send me naked pictures of your wife. Yeah. I'm good.
Like I'm not going to just go, I got to call Flair.
Yeah.
He's the 18-time champion of the world. Like the whole people always say like comedians want to be rock stars. Comedians want to be wrestlers. Like right?
Talk a lot of shit and beat the shit out of somebody.
No, but when we were kids, right? You wouldn't be a wrestler, right?
Of course.
Yes, that's what I mean.
And a rock star.
Superfly.
And a
Jimmy
comedian.
Superfly.
Snooker.
Yeah, that was my big hero.
Isn't he in jail? Didn't he?
No, he killed his girlfrin, but she had it coming.
Judge Bartnick resides.
No, so not me too.
No, like he threw her down and she hit her head, but he didn't mean to kill her.
No, that's manslaughter.
No,
and he only jumped. He only was on the third step when he jumped.
Did he
on
do
it.
a flip off the couch and land on it?
What's so funny was Roddy Piper smashed a coconut over her head.
He's getting on the couch and she's like, "Oh, not this, not this." And the neighbors were like, "Yeah!" Looking through the window. Snooker, snooker.
That's the picture in the paper.
The judge is like, "What can I do? It's entertaining as fuck."
She read the script. No. The truth was,
Oh,
the truth.
fuck.
Here's the truth: is that he whatever he whatever he did, he did her wrong, and then they all went
Can
about
you
the.
sugarcoat killing somebody anymore? I mean, listen, the guy didn't want to kill her.
It was his fault. I mean, it was his fault. If we're gonna blame someone,
he
it
was
If
in
he
the
didn't
wrong.
exist, that would have never happened.
right. So
Well,
I guess
she
it's
wouldn't have been at that Days Inn in Scranton, Ohio, in Scranton, Pennsylvania. No, he pushed her. He pushed her or something, and she hit her head. But then she lived
rest her soul.
she lived a couple days, and nothing was. He was not charged or anything. Like there was like, oh, it was an accident. And then like 30 years later, when he wrote his autobiography, he's like, oh, I was all fucked up, and I fucking threw her down, and she smacked her head, and she never came back. And that's how they fucking found out, and that's when they went and arrested him. But then they're like, he's like gonna die anyway. But that's the whole reason. Like
That happened that many years later?
Yeah. He
Shit.
did it like in the 70s.
Fuck,
and
I'm
then,
never writing a book.
Well, you got to read one.
Yeah.
No, you don't actually.
No, I don't. No.
I mean, yeah, I never read that Snuka book though. Jim Ross has a new book out though. I love wrestling when it was like real but fake. You know, whenever like they weren't seen in the same hotel.
Well, I was saying
together.
today, I was like, I didn't get to watch Ric Flair because I was really young in the 80s, and when you turn on the TV, especially in the Northeast, it was Hogan, it was the Ultimate Warrior, it was all them.
Dude, I grew up when I was a kid in the 70s, we used to go to the lake and we got this like channel that was from Dallas, Texas. And they had Saturday night wrestling on.
And what was that? Was that WCW?
That was the
The
Von Erich,
Sportatorium, yeah.
Von Erich brothers.
Kerry Von Erich.
The Von Erich brothers. It was
Killer Bees.
Andre the Giant.
Wait, that's not WCW, that's WWF.
That's World Class Championship Wrestling from the Sportatorium, the Von Erich family.
Yes, it was like this was Jimmy Superfly Snuka. This was
Well,
Andre the
Junkyard
Giant.
Oh, it was like its own thing. It was its own.
See,
yeah, because they all had their own territory.
They all had territories, but like Snuka, Andre, there was like 5 or 6 guys that were so big they would go anywhere they wanted.
But they
Whenever.
were. This was live from. I think it was live from Dallas, Texas, or somewhere in Texas, and we thought it was absolutely 100% real.
We literally,
we never thought for a minute that it wasn't real.
I know. Well, it
Well,
was.
it is kind of real.
No,
I
it
mean,
was.
people are getting their heads busted
No, it
wide
was-
open.
it
But
and
there's
shit.
nothing real.
No,
about
but
it.
it was
If
like.
me and you did those moves and shit and took it easy on you, I don't know. You're
No,
saying
there's
No.
nothing
I mean, what's
about
not
it.
real?
But in those,
Nothing
but
about
in
it's
those
real.
days, it was really like if they were in a bar, they had to fight everyone in the bar to prove they were tough, and if they lost, they got fired. Like they weren't allowed to be in the same cars together. They would wear
The
masks.
Sheik got in trouble for that, right?
They would wear masks, so or disguises if they were in like on the same plane together. So like
Right.
it was like totally like
No,
like,
it was a news story when Sheik and what's his name were in the same car
Yeah.
together. It was Hacksaw
You-
Jim Duggan.
every podcast
Great name.
producer knows
Great
all
name.
wrestling,
Everything about- yeah.
all wrestling trivia. Johnny
Yeah.
Bench, they all know those guys. It's funny. We literally walked every single human being except the 2 people paid to sit here.
Yeah.
Is it my drinking stories?
No.
Instead of free tickets
If
at
Bert
comedy
Kreischer
clubs,
was here in the Speedos, it'd be 40 people listening.
you notice how Bert doesn't give a fuck about anything now that he's sober.
I know.
Usually he's got to hang out, close his shit
He's
down.
not fun anymore.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him for bettering himself.
Namaste.
Fuck that health.
Namaste. Well, I think it's funny that they all made it competitive. It's like it's yoga.
You know
It's
what
supposed
though?
to be for
Going back
yourself.
to the wrestling thing, when I was young, the greatest match I ever saw was because now it turned into fucking it's like what comedy is. It's like every fucking buddy's doing it, but there was like a smaller circuit. But it was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man. Do I have
Yeah,
that right?
Macho
was that
Man
the
is it.
long fucking? That was just like, and I was just little watching it, and they're fucking bleeding. And when one goes down, you're like, it's gonna be over. The other one would just come up, and it was fucking awesome, dude. It was awesome. It was when wrestling was the best.
Wrestling used to be
in the
amazing.
in the 70s on a black and white television in my
Yes.
in my grandmother's kitchen, Larry Zabisco took a chair to Bruno Sammartino and bloodied him to death with a chair My grandmother was throwing. In Italians, especially in Pittsburgh, it literally goes, the Virgin Mary, Joe DiMaggio, Bruno Sammartino, and then Frank or Dean, whoever your favorite was. That's the big four.
Right.
So Bruno, my grandmother saying like in Novena that Zabisco goes to hell. You know, it was like amazing. He's beating with a chair, and then they end up playing Shea Stadium. They sold out Shea Stadium.
This podcast makes me want to drink, get violent, and like do blow all at the. And
The night is very young. Paul.
I know. I'm here one night, man. Come on out. Is this live?
Joe,
so people can hear it on the internet.
Yeah, they
Joe wrestles Phoenix. Joe versus Arizona.
He's gonna break his beer drinking record tonight.
Yeah. Southwest is the
Tonight
getaway
he's
car.
gonna climb up on the third rung at the Tempe Improv and belly flop on top of Virzi while he closes out.
I will wrestle any woman under 150 pounds at the Tempe Improv tonight.
And I'll wrestle any woman under 110 tonight.
There's BB.
There he is.
We're talking about Buffalo.
We're gonna fight you, bro.
No, we're not. We were talking about Buffalo, Rich Stadium.
No, Joe. We're gonna fight.
Rich
friendly.
Stadium, how it's out in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
You're from Buffalo?
I was born in Rochester.
Okay, cool. Bills fan?
Big Bills fan.
Yeah.
Did the cops have dogs?
The cops
Have dogs.
No, I got picked up after a Dead show in Buffalo.
We'll see if the story checks out.
It's 100%. 100%
Let's
checked
see if
out.
the story checks out. The full charge investigation. Well, all right. So how are we? How much time out are we? We're at 50. How much time are we supposed to do? An hour?
He like wants us to leave. You're
Well,
done.
They told me we were getting picked up
51.
at 7, though.
No, we're getting picked up at 8.
No, the show's at 8. They say we're getting picked up at 7.
Oh, well, we'll do 10 more minutes.
We'll
Where
do-
are you guys
yeah.
playing?
We're
The
tonight. We're
Tempe
tonight.
Improv.
We're at the Tempe Improv. You know, it's big. I mean, I got a full calendar. I got this show tonight, and then something like Wednesday night at like 4:15 in the afternoon. So I'm
Full
gonna be
calendar
busy.
this week.
Full busy.
Well, I was supposed to do Kate Quigley's date fails, but her plane was delayed.
Plane fails.
Oh boy.
Plane travel fails. Parts unknown. Anthony Bourdain went to Pittsburgh, my hometown. Isn't that crazy?
Did he put potatoes on his sandwich?
You mean French fries and coleslaw?
That's what I said.
Yes. No. You're mocking our cuisine.
I like it. All right. All right.
Little Italy in Pittsburgh can hold up against any Little
right.
Italy
You
in
heard it here
the
first,
fucking
man.
country.
Well, you guys, because you guys travel a lot with Burr, and I've heard on the Burr's podcast about you two when you would go into these delis, and all you would fucking talk about is how great the fucking salami or how great you guys
Well,
would.
Burr admitted Burr was jealous. He admitted he was jealous
Oh.
that he wasn't Italian. He
Okay.
admitted it
That
because
does
he
hurt
couldn't.
sometimes,
He couldn't
I have to
talk.
tell
He
you.
couldn't talk about the sausages we were buying. I one of the funniest things that ever happened on the bus tour. This was like 3 years ago. Me and Joe decided.
I wish I was still on that bus.
We go to Little Italy,
Maybe I
and
am.
I mean, Joe, remember how I was looking? They had the fresh blocks of cheese, but like fresh blocks, and they were cutting it with like the two-handed fucking slicer.
Oh, the
They're
Pittsburgh
playing-
sharp provolone that burnt your
Dude,
tongue a
they're
little
playing
bit.
Frank Sinatra on the streets that flows into the. It was like you died and went to like
the guy
just
cutting-
guinea heaven. It was incredible.
The guy cutting the sharp provolone was doing it real slow like this, and he had his muscles out. Virzi was tear rolling down his eye like his daughter was getting married.
So I find this like Italian loaf of bread, and it was the softest, freshest thing. And I just hand it to Joe, and Joe just squeezes it, and then looked at me, and we just had this like Italian eye conversation. And he didn't even say a word. He just nodded. He just goes,
Forget about
and
it.
that was it. And it was just, and we told Burr, and we got Burr these olives with these garlic
We got you
cloves
some
in them, and he
sauerkraut,
went
Burr.
nuts.
Yeah, he
went-
couldn't believe.
He could not believe.
He couldn't believe what you could do with an olive. I'm like, when Italians see an olive, they see an opportunity.
And the whole time, there's just like Sopranos music like playing over the whole thing.
Everyone kept going to the back asking the boss for a favor.
It was, but.
Guys, I'm having
Virzi spent $89 in Gabagool.
In sandwich?
Yeah, I spent 30 just on a pound of prosciutto.
Yeah.
28.
It was
I swear to God, I
$29.95
spent like
with spicy.
$89 just to go back to the bus. We had the greatest tour bus
It's like a
ever.
whole pig in that envelope.
I'm being told I have to leave, gentlemen.
I'm on that show too. They
so
literally
we all-
don't want me there. They literally don't want me on that show.
Are we? I gotta go.
We all gotta go.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Okay.
Am I,
But
I
we're
gotta
on
go
the-
take a shower.
We're on. All right, let's end the fucking podcast.
Let's just leave without ending it.
We've had a good time,
Guys. This was so much fun. Thank you for having
Virzi,
me, dude.
Thanks, Paul Virzi. Thanks for being here. Full charge. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let them do their plugs.
Yeah, you could actually this is live right now.
Yeah.
So if you got an hour, go to the Tempe Improv. I'll be there at 8 o'clock with so many funny people. Tomorrow night on the 11 o'clock show, I will be at Stand Up Live in Phoenix. And Saturday night, flying back to New York to work with this gentleman, Joe Bartnick, I will be at Laugh It Up Comedy Club in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's going to be a blast. So come out to that. And for other dates, you can check paulvirzi.com.
Okay.
Mr. Fulchiron.
I'll be at Stand Up Live tonight on Ari Shafir's podcast at 9:30. I'll be doing stand-up at midnight at Stand Up Live. The Full Charge Power Hour tapes at 12 noon tomorrow, and then Stand Up Live again at midnight tomorrow night. Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley. I've never played it, but I'm playing it on December 12th.
Nice.
Oh, you
Nice.
dirty dog. That's a great room.
Nice.
All right. My dates are all messed up. Come see me with Virzi.
Give the website.
Yeah.
JoeBartnick.com.
Go to CortMcCown.com. It's all there. This is Insensitivity Training. I'm Cort McCown.
I'm Joe Bartnick.
Have a great week.
I was talking you through your acid trip.